Very good morning. Now, today's presentation is mainly on to find out what our students know before actually we start our lesson. I had this problem, especially dealing with the A-level student, because mainly they come from different background and other educational board. So, starting a topic, it sometimes we end up to have a very boring lesson because you're actually repeating what they've learned. So, I've discovered this particular survey where we can use this survey to find out whether they already know this particular learning outcome, and how many of them already know, and who else. I mean, perhaps we can find out their names and we can call them out, those who are not familiar with the topic. And let's say a common topic is taught in A levels, also being taught in SPM and O levels. So, for example, out of I think 19 response, I know that there are 15 of them. They already know about the basic concept of Newton's second law, but there are few of them who got the concept wrong, you see. So rather than for 5 to 10 minutes, I can just touch 1 or 2 minutes and spend the rest of the time for the other important learning outcome. And what I can do is that I can call this first out and I can discuss with them. Okay, you see, this Newton's second law is this, perhaps you have to look into this matter, So rather than I spend more time, So there are also some other things like, for example, I can check whether they know certain formulas, certain concept wrong. I can call them out, So I can tell them rather than spending, the entire lesson time and wasting the whole lesson. Okay. And after the lesson, right? So we can also use the survey to find out the understanding. Okay. So at the end of the lesson, the students take out the survey again, and we can impose them a few questions to find out whether they have understood the learning outcome. So they find that they got the concept wrong. Okay, so when I go to the next lesson, I can use this to recap. I found out that a couple of you did mistakes, so this is how you have to do it, and so on. Or perhaps I can call this first out and have some sort of like a personal discussion with them. So this is quite a powerful tool to kind of like to find out the understanding of student before and as well after. And I also can use the survey to find out about how's the lesson was conducted on the day, So before you have annual course evaluations and all that. So we can actually use this to check out our students' response, right, before the big day. So, so like in this case, if they have a certain disagreement with my teaching style, so I can know that I can, do the necessary corrective action. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Promoters?
Dearest lecturers, from a student's perspective of view, reassessment is very, very important because actually, as a students, we do create our own union in class. Why? Because the lecturers, during the first day when we entered class, normally we evaluate the lecturers. Blacklist. That's what we students think, as usual. So, the personality of this lecturer is very unique, whereby he needs to adjust the mood, MODE, but not MOOD, in order to cater to different standards of students in terms of their learning capability and also the standards of understanding. It's very, very crucial. Good approach. Thank you.
Right, I really understand this point because of our lesson, because we did an assignment also in economics, and I know that the assignment was very difficult. It was on the global crisis, and I didn't know how to approach the students and how I was going to go and give them a very difficult task. So I actually did a thing and gave them 21 questions and asked them to tick from a Likert scale of 1 to 5 what they understood about their 21 questions on the global crisis. And we got all the ones. The beginning part they had 5s and 4s, but about 20 questions, out of 21, about 15 questions was 1. They didn't know anything at all. So thereafter you improve that 1 to a 5. And after the assignment was done, when you give them a pose, you actually see a lot of 4 and 5. So they actually really clearly understood. So this is a very good method because it actually helps you to assess yourself, and it is a backup because if students decide at the last minute to evaluate you poorly, maybe because you scolded them on that particular day, they wanted to penalize you, you've got this whole record showing, look, they understood. This is how they evaluated me over the week. You can do it in a month-to-month basis. You don't have to do it every lesson. I think this is a very good way of teaching the students.
Learning is a process, and it doesn't begin and end at the beginning of the lesson and the end of the lesson. It continues on. And what I liked about this is that when you think about it, we have so many, like I said before, so many constraints: physical limitation, time limitation, how we feel as a person, what we ate for breakfast in the morning or didn't eat for breakfast. This can all change our lessons. And I think that a lot of us are always worried about running out of time and not being able to teach enough because we're so stuck with that syllabus. It has to be learned, everything has to be learned, but some of it we may be repeating stuff that people already know or they understand or they have learned, or it's just not relevant anymore. So I think this is very important, and I love the fact that he's making use of the SurveyMonkey, which is a lot better than a lot of the other technology and the other ways to do it. I think he's kept it very simple, and that's what works. Simple, effective, focus on what the students actually learn.